We don't see anyone celebrating, but certainly you can imagine that there's some high fives going on behind the scenes. This is an administration that has always been very cautious about whenever they talk about the direction that the economy is going in. But today we heard from the president an optimistic tone, and I jotted down just a few of the quotes that I pulled from his remarks that he gave a short time ago in the Rose Garden. He said that the worst may be behind us. Another one today, we're pointed in the right direction. He also said as we begin to put an end to this recession, and then finally, we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. So clearly, this is a president who is encouraged by these unemployment numbers. Everyone's still realizing that the numbers are very high, but they're encouraged that they're much lower than everyone expected. But the president still believes that there's a lot more work to be done.
We have a lot further to go. As far as I'm concerned, we will not have a true recovery as long as we're losing jobs. And we won't rest until every American that is looking for work can find a job. I have no doubt that we can make these changes. It won't be easy, though. Change is hard, especially in Washington. We have a steep mountain to climb, and we started in a very deep valley. But I have faith in the American people, in their capacity for hard work and innovation, in their commitment to one another, and their courage to face adversity.
The White House for months now has been saying that they fully expected that the unemployment numbers would hit the double digits, but Robert Gibbs this morning at his morning gaggle said that even though these positive numbers have come out, he still believes that at some point down the road we could still see unemployment in double digits. And he gives this analysis for the economy. He says it's like a patient that had a life-threatening illness. They have been stabilized. They'll have some good days and some bad days. Virginia?
Dan, are we getting a sense that members of the administration may actually be connecting the dots and taking direct credit for this improvement?
Well, certainly they believe that the stimulus plan is what's helping to drive these numbers. I mean, they say that you really have to wait long term before we'll see large numbers of people who've been laid off rehired again. But they do think that the stimulus plan is working, and they say that that is the reason that we've seen the economy come back, as they describe it, from the brink of a depression. And they're also pointing to some other positives. The market has been stabilized. They also believe the mortgage and the housing market has also been stabilized as well. All of this, they believe, has to do with work that the economic team for this administration has been doing over the past 6 months.
Dan, how much, and again in this discussion, do they think that if the economy continues to improve, I mean, that's a big if, of course, right, that somehow that could help them with their healthcare agenda by raising people's feelings, by making it seem as though we know what we're doing, see what we've done with the economy? How about healthcare?
Well, definitely. I mean, on two fronts. Certainly from a PR standpoint, if you will, there are a lot of people out there who are looking at the high cost of health care and saying, first of all, it's too expensive, and secondly, how are we going to pay for it? And so when they're looking at that and they look at the fact that they don't have a job and that the economy has been doing so poorly, it's very difficult for them to buy into it. But also from a second standpoint, Congress. You have a lot of critics up on Capitol Hill who've been pushing back and saying, don't believe that the stimulus plan has been working. Don't believe that this country can afford any more money, at least to the tune, what we're looking at, $1 trillion over 10 years to invest in healthcare reform. And so they've been pushing back for that reason. Perhaps this can be an arsenal by this administration to push some of those skeptical lawmakers that, listen, the economy is turning around, and as they see it, if we get healthcare reform, it will only continue to help boost the economy.